the shock value of this is we're all going to get replaced, right? It's going to take over. It's going to decide that we need to become extinct and so on. Among artists, the shock is, where's the work going to go? If somebody can just use an AI instead and not bother hiring me, how am I going to make a living? All of those concerns, I think, are very valid. I think that there've always been people looking for ways to cut corners and avoid, paying an honest musician or artist for an honest day's work. That goes back centuries. That's always going to be the case. And the challenge for artists and musicians is always going to be to show why we're different, why you still need us and you can't replace us. I think that when I started out, when I looked at the world of pop music, I thought, okay, there's a lot of mediocrity out there. Am I going to rise above that? I have to find my own voice. I have to be myself. I have to do something that you can't get from anywhere else. I think if more and more AI generated music starts to come across my desk, the challenge will just be, okay, how can I do something that AI couldn't possibly come up with? And I think that, AI agitators will sort of say, yeah, but it's only a matter of time before they figure out how to perfect those imperfections, and it's going to figure out irony and sarcasm and humor, all of those things that it's sort of missing at the moment. And it's going to get so good, that all I do is hit a button, say, let me hear the next Thomas Dolby album, and it'll come out and it'll be indistinguishable from what I'm actually. All of those are, radical, scenarios, but they're also very logical fears. Again, I don't feel distressed by that. I know a lot of people are distressed by that. And the reason I don't is because you're just throwing down the gauntlet for me to figure out a new way to do things. But I think I'm unusual from that point of view. So I acknowledge the fear that some people have. On the plus side, there's an awful lot of what we do that could really benefit from positive application of AI. I'll give you an example. So, I teach students to do orchestral scoring on a DAW, right? And there's now powerful software. There's fabulous sample libraries you can get from, Spitfire or East West or whoever, that sound amazing. You just hit a note, a chord, you go, wow, that is absolutely awesome. In order to make those sound really good, you have to do the same sort of 100 things over and over again. If you want to play a line, it's no good. It's very hard to just do it convincingly with your fingers. You have to go back in and tweak controllers and modulation, expression, all of those kinds of things, and make choices about how you slide from one note to another and so on. And you lose objectivity because you've been spending 3 hours working on this damn string line, and now you have no idea if it sounds like real or like a machine, right? So, but you did the same 100 things that time. So I would like AI to be able to learn what I do there and basically do it for me, so I can do the good stuff. I can concentrate on the composition. Another example: if you take a great sounding drum kit, you got a beautiful Ludwig kit and a good drummer, right? Put it in a studio, stick some mics up, push up the faders. It sounds like crap, right? That's the way a drum kit sounds. If you just stick some mics up, have the guy play it, it just may sound like a drum kit, but it's useless as far as making a record goes. So the engineer will get in there, and for hours he's thumping away on the kick drum and he's tweaking that, and he's doing the same things that engineers have been doing for decades to make it sound good. And a couple of hours later, or a couple of months later, in the case of Mutt Lange, it's going to start to sound like a drum kit that would be acceptable to use on a record. Well, that kind of stuff is what AI surely is there for, because those kind of processes, repetitive processes, it can learn, it can deep learn those, and it can figure out how to cut corners for us.